Everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat. This will be my Knackers Yard. All packed away. Moment of truth. Let's see if my fiberglassing has worked. But before we get to that, after I stopped filming yesterday, a couple of deliveries, which was nice. First of all, the battery. So this is the lithium-ion battery for the XJ650. It weighs nothing. It weighs as much as my mock-up box did, only slightly more. I'm being a slightly flippant there, but as you can see, my mock-up was slightly larger, so I don't think I'm going to have a drama fitting it in. I have got some leads as well, so well happy with that. Well happy. So that's good. The other bit that arrived is my rear light / number plate light. So I've mounted that on and chucked a bit of black on there as well. Obviously, as and when I decide on indicators, I'll make some branches off to come off. But yeah, that's done as well. Just a little bit of pissing around at night and everything else. Right, now on to, can I get a fiberglass off? Now a lot of the denim is stuck, but that's fine. It's going to get, rubbed down, whatever. I just needed to press it into shape a little bit more. I'm just going to find my matting to put it on, and then flip it upside down. Where's that gone? Actually, I've got the foam that I want to use as the seat. That's probably the best thing to use. Right, let's get to going. I do have some stuff, some crap on the paint, but as I said before, this is temporary paint. It's just for my own fascination as much as anything else. Exposed stuff cut out. Oh, we might have some joy. I'm still recording, yes. Oh, even the dog's come back to see. Ta-da! Oh. Pretty trash, but I knew it was going to be. That's fine, because it was only a a paint job to make it smoother in the first place. And look, I've got a shell. I've got a shell. Sweet. All different shapes, all different colours. Right, now I think what I need to do, obviously I don't want it overlapping on the edge. I haven't decided whether or not I want the seat flush or slightly overlap, so I'm going to try a slightly overlap first, just to see what happens, and then slot it back on. But that was an epic. Well, I'm going to need a fresh cup of tea. That was about 30 minutes worth, Jesus. Right, there. My wife shamed me into putting my mask on, and she's completely right. I should have had it to start with. Daft. Don't follow me. Don't copy me. Don't do as I do. But yeah, particularly while I was doing that, because I needed my face closer. So she's completely right, and I should have had it from the beginning. Naughty that. So I've got my base. It's actually got a fair amount of rigidity to it. As suspected, the denim is stuck in some places. I'll peel off where I can, but frankly, exactly as I said yesterday, I'm really not bothered. It just adds a bit of bulk. What I'm specifically after is a decent mating surface that I can glue the foam onto. But, I mean, fundamentally, get off tape. Fundamentally, we've got it, and it works. And I've got a bacon sandwich on the way, which works even better. Now, I think I need to trim off the edges a little bit before I start pissing around too much, and just even it off. But I am well happy with that. Where I can get this up I can, otherwise I'll just leave it on. It's fine. I just don't want it loose. It'll interrupt with the heaving of any foam. Yeah, look at that. So, as I said before, like a liney sticky bit there at the back, clip it down at the front. I'm well happy with that. Well happy with that. Right, I'm going to go for a bacon sarnie, and then I'm going to tidy the edges of this round a little bit, and then start seeing if I've got enough foam and some spray glue. Be right back. Right, I was getting a bit ahead of myself with that foam. What I've had to do is, let's drag it back over here, is work out how to do the mounting mechanism before I start trying to put anything on top of that foam, because obviously I'm going to need to drill through it. So what I've got is the simple one, just a bendy bit of steel, just to top up there, and obviously plate on top. The slightly more complex one though has been the mechanism itself. So I've got a bolt welded onto a small plate, and I've dug a few holes out of it, etc. So it'll fit in comme ça. And what I now need to do is just attach it to the base. So because I can't really see through particularly well, I've just put the plate in. Of course, it's bloody freezing today, my hands are cold. Just put the plate in so I can get some at least vaguely educated guesswork as to where that's going to sit. I think it's about there. So I'm going to grab the drill it through. I'm probably just going to go for pot rivets rather than anything else, because I've got them. Right, a classic 3-minute job taking 30 minutes there as my rivet gun jammed. I now know how that works because I had to strip it. So I've got back plate riveted on, back riveted on. Let's just see if it works. fiberglass. Look at that. Might need to just tap a little bit of rubber under there so it doesn't rattle. Job, as they say, is a fish. Happy with that. I might see if I've got some spray glue and just get that worked out. Right, and sometime later, having walked the dog and the kids and got fleeced for a McDonald's on the way back, that's the main base done, and I'm liking a lot. Now I did get a second layer, and for all the little like bits and gaps, I've just been hacking stuff off using some Spider-Man jizz and just filling in the gaps, trying to keep it even. There's a bit of a gap around the side. I've just filled in. It's, you know, it's going to get covered anyway. It's not really a drama, but I don't think it's a drama. Time will tell. I do have a spongy top coat, which should make it even more comfy. So I can bang that on and then kind of continue some of this edging, because I haven't got really enough to keep it, you know, it's kind of straight up, and I don't like that look anyway. It just looks a bit placed up on top. So I'm going to do that. Go for the same cover over the top, give it a squeeze, leave it to sort itself out. Let's see what happens. There's not a lot of this left. That should be okay actually. So what am I using? High temperature adhesive. I think I got this for I upholstered a chair. I think that's what I got it for. Had it. And another thing I've had ages. So it's spray, let it tap slightly, I think it says. Allow the solvent to evaporate until tacky, 40 to 60 seconds. Right then, couple of test fits later. I've added like a cone section just to try and meet the shape of the tank a little bit more. Not entirely successful, but we'll see. I'm trying to be tight here, so I've just nicked the cover off the seat that I'm not using, just to see if I can use it as much as anything else. I'm not sure it's going to fit, but it saves me a few pennies. It's got to be worth a go, surely. I might get away with it. Fortunately, quite actually a big unit for what it was being used for. Just make sure it's going to work. It's got a seam in it, but hey, even if it's a temporary, when I replace it, it's got to be worth a go. Now, fortunately, I do have a electric stapler from a previous project / job. So I'll give it a go. Stop edge. Good start. Christ, it's not even going into the heart of it. Let's try that again. Right, we could have a problem if I can't actually staple into the fiberglass. And welcome back, and I'm an idiot that's just spent the last hour talking to a dead camera. The answer was better staples. So I found some decent quality Stanley ones that I got there. Banged them in. I have tried reusing the cover that was on the original one. It has got these annoying lips that make it quite difficult to fit, so it's not fitted particularly well, but it works. I may bite the bullet and just get some vinyl and just recover it, but my theory works. So I've got your seat, just drop your back. I've got my seat what works. A few people have said about the line and whether or not I can lift the tank. I might have to have a look at that. I might be restricted by what I've built, but it's easy to adjust. I have to say, it's quite comfy. He says, sat on it, it's not as if I've been on it long. But got decent padding. I can't feel any of the components underneath it. Got decent. It's a bit of a sharp angle that. I may have to play with the angle of the brake, but all that's going to change anyway. Slightly to with the gear lever. It needs to be a little bit further down so my feet can drag a little. But yeah, I mean, as a first attempt, it'll do. Yeah, it's really hard to pull taut because it's just it's not stretchy fundamentally. But you know, as a first attempt, it'll do. I'll get some proper cover rather than reuse what I've got. My theory works. I can still get to everything. I've not done a live fit of the battery yet, have I? It's all going to be a complete waste of effort if this doesn't fit, but oops. Absolutely fine with a few mil to spare, so I'm not terminating on metal. Actually, that fits sideways now. So yeah, that fits absolutely fine. Whew. That's a weight off my mind. That would have really fucked things up if it didn't work. He says you now can't get it out. Right, so battery fits. That would really fuck things up if it didn't. Yeah, so the fiberglass base, I've had to drill a little hole so that it would actually go down far enough for the lock to engage. You may notice the lock looks a bit scrabbier than it was before. I broke it off. The weld wasn't strong enough, so I did I think it's a plug weld, so I drilled a hole in the back, filled it with weld and went round the edge. So that's going, you know, absolutely nowhere now. Nowhere fast. There we go. Job's a good one. Comes up a bit high, but there's a lot of material here in what I've reused, so I think with some less material it will be less. But we shall see, and I have actually gone for a lip around rather than just straight onto, and I'm not convinced one way or another yet, which is precisely why I reused the cover, because it's free. Yeah, not sure. Now as far as the very boxy back's concerned, I'll be looking at something akin to that, which kind of takes away a bit of the boxiness. I think just obscures it slightly with a really boxy square rectangular number plate, which you can't do anything about in the UK. That's just the way these things go. Bit of dust and crap over my mock paintwork. Yeah, starting to take shape a little bit. I now have an ass have an ass to fit on, and it is comfortable. Next, I'm still going to tinker with that. I'm going to get a fresh cover rather than use a spare one. There is a question as to whether or not I can raise the tank to bring that line a little bit more, because it's a bit dunk. Yep, get it. I might have to have a look at that. I might have to redesign how this works, but that's fine. Oh, the starter's got to go in there as well. I hung it from there just so I didn't lose it as much as anything else. Right, I've got a seat, I've got a bike. I now just need to look up how to get that engine out. I can now take that battery out. In fact, how can I be asked to do that now? I've run out of time now. I'd love to just take the battery out, but I have run out of time. That's going to be next one. Battery out, see how it looks. I think I probably need to look at the electrics before I get that engine out, or I could do them concurrently. I don't know yet. I'll have to see how the work-life balance, work-life domestics balance plays out. Right, that'll do me. Apologies for dipping you out for quite such a long time, chatting away to a dead camera. Didn't even realise it. Cheers all. I'll catch you later on. Ta-da.